And so what would you say is the average state of someone's gut? Like the average person's gut. Well, what is people's gut health like these days and why?
Pretty poor. And I would actually, I mean, this is probably a controversial view that people won't agree with, but I don't think that anyone is allergic to any single food on the planet. It's that their gut is in such a poor state that the food causes an issue. Like, gluten. People, I'm intolerant to gluten, intolerant to lactose. I don't think anyone is. It's poor gut health. And that those foods can give you issues when your gut health's poor. But yeah, overall, our gut health is terrible. And there's a number of things which are causing that. Um, Antibiotics is one. Since the sort of 1950s, they were introduced antibiotics, and that they're been increasing ever since. And what they do is they just destroy. They don't actually technically completely kill the bacteria. They turn them into what's called an L-form bacteria, which has no cell wall and actually makes it more dangerous to us because it's got no cell wall. It can get into any part of the body. And then if the environment of our body is unhealthy and produces the right environment, they can turn into any kind of dangerous form of bacteria and cause us issues. So but they also destroy the good ones and turn them into well-formed bacteria. So they're really hurting us. Medications as a whole as well, really damaging our guts, our diet, processed foods, especially processed carbs and seed oils and these unnatural foods that we shouldn't be having. They're all damaging our guts. And environmental toxins that we talked about as well, that the lack of sunlight, these chemicals we're putting on our bodies, EMF, radiation, and all of this, and basically everything's contributing to it. And it gets worse generation to generation because a baby gets their gut microbiome from their mother as they're born. So literally as they come out of the birth canal, they literally swallow bacteria from their mother, and then they continue to get it from the breast milk. So if the mother is in poor health, she's given a poor gut microbiome to the baby. Most babies nowadays aren't even breastfed, they're bottle fed, which is even worse. And babies they're starting off with a terrible gut microbiome and then being put on a poor diet, and it just gets worse from there. So each generation gets worse. So if you go back sort of the grandparents, of our generation, probably were decent gut health, and then sort of our parents were not that great. Our generation is getting a bit worse, and the generation of kids growing now, their gut health is terrible. This is why things like autism is through the roof. They reckon that pretty soon it's going to be 1 in every 2 kids will be autistic, and that's all coming from our gut health.
Yeah, absolutely. As the guts get worse and worse, the toxic exposure gets higher and higher, and people are really being attacked at all angles, right? So you got children that are missing out on absorbing a microbiome, being cut out of their moms for some fucking reason.
Yeah.
You have the mothers probably having an unhealthy microbiome to begin with. Then you have what, maybe a couple seconds or a couple hours before those kids are sticked with all sorts of chemical concoctions intravenously and have that kind of floating around in them. But yeah, allergies are a scam. It's such
Yeah.
a instance of normalization of very abnormal things. It's certainly not normal to walk around the earth and be like, oh, wow, ooh, that, I can't have that, I can't have that, ooh, no, ooh, the flowers make me, not breathe. What? How did we get here? How did we get here? You have
Exactly.
people that walk in, oh my God, there was peanuts here. You have people being killed by peanuts? Fuck's wrong with you? You think this is normal? How did we just get here? If When people believe in God, especially, which they should, but when they do, or they say they do, and they think God would design people that can be taken out by a nut, are you stupid? Like, how disgraceful are you to your creator?
Yeah.
You think that that's what our God would design? No, it's a bastardization of the human body and of society in the way that we go about things and the way that we treat ourselves and the way that we treat our bodies. It's absolute garbage. And all these things that are being normalized systematically, step by step, because it's just they become more normal and they become more normal and they become more frequent and they become more frequent. And it's you just get more numb to them over time. It's
Yeah.
absolutely insane and it's absolutely absurd how people have been allowed to be mentally trapped and culled into this state where you have people walking around with all these autistic children screaming awareness, oh, be aware that this is happening, or just be aware out there that these people are out there. What are you solving? I can't stand this shit. It's ridiculous. It's time to put feet down and say, no, effects have causes. What are the causes? The answer to that question is already out there. People are stupid, man. It's ridiculous, and it's a shame, and it needs to be spoken about in such a manner because dancing around these points isn't good for anybody. Dancing around these points and just being kind of chill about it is what allows it to be more and more normalized. It's absolutely insane. But you mentioned allergies to foods being a matter of gut health. Clearly, they're a matter of the immune system as well. All these different chemical concoctions, like I mentioned before, have different cells of this, that, the other in them. And, when those are stuck right into the body, then the body reacts to them strangely. What about allergies to animals and other stuff like that, like pollen, et cetera, as well? Are those also in relation to the gut? Are those more broad immune system things? What's going on there?
Yeah, no, so they're the gut. It all comes back to gut health. So our immune system, about 90% of our immune system is in our gut. So the immune system is tied in completely to our gut. And when our gut is, when it's under attack all the time from all these toxins coming in and this food and it's damaged, our immune system can't function properly. And so this is why we're then struck down and attacked by all these things that we shouldn't be. And so all of these things, these allergies, we've got a damaged gut, we've got a damaged immune system, and our body's just weak and it can't deal with this stuff. So yeah, I don't think, any allergies, hay fever, allergies to animals, food intolerances, they're all from poor gut health, and which is proved by the fact that if we work with people and correct their gut, guess what? These allergies disappear, which proves the point. The same with, autism. Every autistic child, every child with ADHD, every person with, depression, anxiety, any kind of mental condition, every single person has a messed up gut. If you look at their gut and you look at their gut microbiome, it's messed up. So some people could say, well, does a messed up gut cause autism, or does autism cause a messed up gut? But if you take someone with autism and you fix their gut, guess what? The autism disappears. So it's clear that it's the gut that's causing it. So it's all these things. Our immune system, people who are really sickly and always ill and have these allergies, it's just down to their gut health, because that's where everything comes from. Say that the immune system is literally in our gut, and if we can have a healthy gut microbiome, our immune system works perfectly. Guess what? None of these things affect us. We're fine.
Yeah. If you enjoyed this clip, you'll love the full conversation I had with Ryan, where we dive a whole lot deeper into his philosophies as a holistic health coach and what he's done to improve the life of himself and his family using holistic health practices. A lot of it goes very much against the grain of conventional thinking, and we cover some really, really essential topics. So click the link in the description to check it out, and I'll see you over there.